There it is, the Horseshoe Arena here in Midland, Texas. We're on the east side of Odessa, Midland.
Yeah.
But this is day 2 of the Permian Basin Comic Con X, the holiday edition.
Yes.
So I got the Dr. Pepper. I was here yesterday for a little bit. You had to work, but now we're here for the full event. Well, for a couple hours.
Yeah, we're gonna go see
kangaroos.
Yes, and we're gonna go see if we can catch the Avatar panel.
And see Alan Covert, who again of Grandma's Boy and all those Adam Sandler films. But yeah,
all right,
it'll be interesting. We'll compare it to see how it is against Altoona.
Yeah.
In other parts of the country, in the South, y'all is real normal. We wouldn't even think twice about it. So, you know, it just became
so the guy speaking right now is Boomy,
really quick
and
to
then you got
where you are.
Uncle Iroh, the new
But
Uncle
it was never
Iroh.
to necessarily make fun of people. It was
just see this stage that it's all Nightmare
so
Before
I was
Christmas
always
themed.
doing voices.
Got
When
Oogie
I
Boogie
chose,
over there.
Acting as a career, thinking about
So he's done Red Bull. He was also
He was the cockroach and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
What I always tell people is
He was on the Celebrity Deathmatch.
and a lot of the
which
great
is so, because again, I remember watching that. Interesting layout how they have it. Where again in Altoona, we were in like actual dedicated rooms, so they just kind of put it up amongst like the entire like.
But this is more like when I went to Comic Con in New York. This is what they do.
Oh, like in the floor and then.
Yes, on the floor. Well, they have a dedicated floor 2 panels, so it's away from the vendor stuff. But it's New York's huge. But here, it's that's the kind of setup you get instead of like the room one in Altoona was a lot more intimate. I think like. I like that better, but this is more the norm.
Yeah.
I don't do it as well. I don't want to sully the memories that people have with that song. That being said, because it is such an iconic moment, not that the Netflix studio executives listen to me, but if they did, they actually should. It's probably, they have got to get that scene right in the live action adaptation. And fans will forgive a lot, but that particular scene has to be done right. And I think the only way they can do that scene and make everybody happy is certainly don't cut the song altogether. Don't cut the scene. And I also think maybe you don't want Paul Sun-Young Lee to sing the song. I think the best way to do that scene is to shoot it with a beautiful golden sky and everything, but play Mako's original version very softly in the background. And I think if they were to do that, the love that they would get from fans would be overwhelming. Long way to Boston, say, but the girls in the city, they look so pretty.
Yeah. A person, a friend of mine, John Berry Ryder, was an old aristocratic, wealthy New Yorker of the 6th generation who smoked Camel Down filters and kind of talked like that. And so it was sort of based on John, because he was an old aristocrat, and then I made him a little higher and a little bit crazier. But the fact that that sort of weird, aristocratic, erudite voice is coming out of this ripped, crazy old man is what's funny and charming about Boomy.
So we kind of beginning and end of the Avatar panel, but again, interesting to hear.
It was less of a panel, more of a Q&A.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it's been. I think yesterday with Billy West, it was Q&A.
Yeah. But it's really cool. I will always have a great respect and awe for voice actors, especially ones that do multiple voices. Like you have voice actors that are known for a character and that's all they do, but then you have people like Billy West and these guys who it's like they can do a million voices, and I always think it's really cool. So.
But yeah, it's only one floor, and again, it goes not all terribly that much. Again, I'm surprised how small it is. And again, there's multiple venues here, part of this like arena.
Yeah, I think it's also like the vendors have a lot more space here, whereas like in Altoona, they were like bigger, packed in. So yeah, it's just a bigger space, probably less vendors than somewhere.
There's a lot more Pokemon cards than there are like video game stuff, like comparatively, and Funko Pops.
Funko Pops everywhere.
So I guess we'll explore for the next couple minutes before we go to the next panel. But it's Darsana, we'll call him. But yeah, again, as we're over here by the lightsaber store, it's similar vendor of what we saw in Altoona. Different people, but again, selling the same-ish stuff.
Beard care.
Yeah. T-shirts, tattoo, beard care, yeah. There you go. They got the It's very interesting. I don't know if we can show that on YouTube, but yeah. Yeah, they're covered up. Yeah, the Wild Bill like soda pop. It had like 2 windows in Altoona.
Well, no, it was like a huge thing. Like
Yeah.
it was probably double.
But it's here though,
size.
so
It's here.
yeah, it's just very unique.
Yeah.
There you go. I see body pillows for you.
Oh God, no.
No.
I'm not one of those anime fans.
We'll have to go by there because also too they have very interesting mouse pads as well too.
What, for Josh?
Yeah. Little baby kangaroo.
Look.
Anything that catches your eye so far, or at least caught your eye?
I'm the kind of person, if I had a lot of money, I would have huge bags of things.
Oh yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of really
You
cool
just had
stuff.
the FU money, yeah.
Yeah, if I had FU money,
would
I'd
nuts
probably
here.
buy something from at least 90% of the booths I see.
Yeah.
But
They got earrings, wooden earrings there.
yeah, like I said, I would if I had
There's
FU
a video
money.
game spot over there, but yeah. Might have to peer over there.
Yeah.
How was it with working with Kevin Nash?
Oh, Nealon? He's the funniest. No, I've worked with him in a ton of stuff. I mean, he's in 51st Dates. He's in... Kevin Nealon sitting with you at a table is casually, literally the funniest person you've ever met in your life. But it's just casual, like he's not even trying, and then you realize what he's saying. We used to play this game. Plug Princess's ears. We used to play this game called This or Kevin's Asshole. And it would be like, what's the difference between, the one I remember the most is, what's the difference between the LA Clippers and Kevin's asshole? And Kevin would go, one of them has 5 large men running up and down every night, and the other one, Penny, what was her name? Penny Williams has courtside seats too. And he would just do it all day off the top of his head, and he's just literally the funniest, nicest man.
Comedy. Do you ever miss the good old days where like
Every day. Every day I miss the good old days. No, honestly, I'm on a, look, I will go march in Washington. I'm so angry. Movie studios in Hollywood do not make comedy. And I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating. I spent this entire year on a mission to have one studio make one low-budget R-rated comedy. I mean, I think I know a little bit about comedy. I think I know funny scripts. Not one comedy is being made by a major studio in Hollywood this year. Not one. And I feel bad for my kids, because my daughter just graduated high school. They don't have a movie. Like, you have a high school movie, right? What was it?
oh gosh. Well, I grew up with a bunch of older siblings, so it was like Fast Times at Ridgemont High and
Yeah.
you know, a lot of Adam Sandler
Exactly.
movies that were just
I had a high school comedy come out every week when I was in high school. Fast Times, Porky's, Real Genius. I mean, all the way up, Clueless. You kept going and going and going and going. Dude, Where's My Car? Superbad. They don't exist anymore. And my sister, like my daughter, I felt bad for them. They look, it's good for me in a way because they go buy all our movies. But I want to make new movies.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I miss the good old days of comedy too.
Yeah, no, R-rated comedy for the win. Well, I was really like, I don't want to mess up, and I was trying really hard not to laugh. But I will say one thing about Happy Gilmore. You know when the guy when he gets hit by the Volkswagen? So I had never really didn't understand stunts. And so they were like, you're going to stand here, and the stunt man's going to be here, like here. And they go, don't move from this spot. And literally in my head, I was like, oh, so like they come in here, and then they go like slow, and then the guy jumps and does a thing, and then we speed it up. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, that's what I think is going to happen. And they're like, don't move from this spot. And then the stunt guy's there, and he's like doing all this crazy stuff, like, and it's like, what's with this guy? And then a Volkswagen comes speeding up at like 40 miles an hour and hits him. and he goes flying through the air, and I'm supposed to just like that's a reaction of me going, holy shit, that guy just got hit by a car. And I had no idea that was going to happen. So now whenever there's a stunt, I'm like, I'm going to be way over here.
As we're going to take off, we're day 2 from the Permian Basin Comic Con X here in December. Again, sat in for the Alan Covert Ellie's panel. Again, that guy is down to earth. I think that guy is like where you could have a beer with. Like if he didn't fly out today, like if he was at like a bar in Midland, I think he would just sit down and just chat.
He was really like his panel.
We got to shake his hand, talk with him for a bit.
Yeah, so. His panel was really. He's like, I'll answer anything, and people were getting a little shy. I asked a couple questions because he's just a really fun character actor. And then we went to his booth, and he just came straight up to us and was like, shook our hand, and was just talking to us, and he seemed really cool. And like you said, I would definitely sit down and have a drink with him and just he'd be able to talk forever.
But it was, like I said, this Comic-Con, not as impressive as the Sci-Fi Valley Con. There was more like activities, there was more stuff to do. I think there's more children activities of like coloring and letters of Santa and all that stuff, which is fine, but it felt like the Sci-Fi Valley Con had like a lot more like for not even just for children, but like for all to like be a part of like the trivia,
costume contests, things like that. So, I think it's also because it's an off-season con. There wasn't as many vendors
here too.
It's an off-season con because it's a Christmas era. Cons are usually like fall, summer, and you definitely have a different outpouring of people for those kind of cons when it's warm outside. I
expected more because again there's just bigger population out here between Odessa and Midland. I thought even if it was a Christmas one that'd be like nuts because I think even in Altoona they did a November one as well too. I'm curious to see how that was, but anyways, again, these are the only 2 Comic-Con experiences I have. You've been to the one of New York,
I've seen New York Comic-Con, but that one's like it's hard to compare anything else to those. But I would say, as the Comic-Cons go, like it's also just the demographic of the people around you. Because there's nerds everywhere. There's going to be people who have fandoms.
It's oil industry out here.
But it's oil industry. You just might not have a lot of that. The type of people who would, and. People who drive to Midland for a con, like we drove from Odessa, so not too bad. But if there's people in the outlying towns, like are they going to really want to drive for a little con? And depending on who's here too, it depends on celebrities. And
it had a good crowd, but like I said, it was only one level in this entire arena here, with again also too the stage set up. But wasn't it again? Sci-Fi Valley Con is number 1. This one's number 2, and then we'll see moving forward of like others. I know that you picked up a thing for like Odessa Geek Fest coming up in July, so that's a long way away.
Yeah.
So
there's Odessa Geek Fest.
Oh, we have to show as well. We got the advent calendar. Been looking for that. Again, we just figured we might as well get that here.
Yeah, and we ended up stopping by AI Armor. They had like a spin booth if you followed and liked them on Facebook and Instagram. They got you. You could get like a sticker pack. I got a bunch of cards.
You spin the wheel, Yeah.
So
I did it
really
yesterday
cool.
as well too. So
they, it was pretty cool. Like I said, there was a lot of vendors. I would say the vendors here are a little more creative than the ones in Altoona. The ones in Altoona, I feel, was a lot more of just 3D printed stuff, which you see a lot of. There was a lot of different like vendors that did like hand, painted stuff or just unique stuff.
It was definitely interesting. A lot of the stuff we saw that we previously seen in Altoona, again, like from the Pokemon terrariums to again Pokemon cards, again X, Y, and Z. The only thing interesting here that I've known of, but I did not see in Altoona, and I don't think you did as well too, was the body pillows, the booby mouse pads. I don't remember that in Altoona.
There was one in Altoona. It just wasn't as big.
Funny. Yeah, it was just kind of funny.
You have to be part of a certain side of the anime world to understand or want those things. I am not part of that anime world. I enjoy my anime. Do not need a body pillow. I have, you.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna head out, go get some food, Raising Cane's, and call it a day. So, like I said, for a 2-day event, not bad.
Not bad.
We'll come back to like if they have like another one in like the summertime. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see who the guests are. That's kind of the big thing.
That's the big drop. Like who? Like I would say a lot of the younger generation, wouldn't know who Grandma's Boy is, depending on who their parents are, or Billy West.
I don't even know Avatar at this point.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where these places are millennial driven because we're the ones who remember all this stuff, and there's not really anything new coming out that's, you know, authentic or original, I guess I would say is original. So yeah, it just depends on who the pull is of who's here.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we'll wrap things up. My arm's getting tired. I got a hold of this thing. So anyways, yeah, it seems like people are trickling on in. I think it's only a few hours left, but yeah, you know, an okay con. And like I said, it's number 2 right now on my list.
Sounds good.
2 out of 2. Yeah, come on.
Salmon Court. It's Judge Roger Klotz. Order in the court! Order! Oh, look who it is. It's Funny, you loser! I knew I was gonna see you in here one day, Funny. You got guilty written all over your face, and it's even spelled wrong. You're going to jail, Funny. You're gonna be someone's bitch in jail, Funny. All night long, Funny. Sorry, I just ruined your childhood.